Assalamualaikum, hi. Yep, this is Nadine, and in this video, I would like to present the research gap from the previous study that related with the research that I'm working on, and this is the final examination video for seminar Rancangan Skripsi. And I do apologize if I look confused because the camera is right here, but the computer is right here. And I won't use the computer's camera because the resolution is really bad. Thank you for your apologize. So, okay, not further ado, let's jump to the presentation. So here we have to find the research gap, and this is the title of mine. The influence of students' learning motivation towards students' speaking ability in 9th grade of SMPN 2 Jombang in the academic year 2020-2021. So we have 3 previous study, and the first one is already done by Nurjana at 2013 from University of Lampung, entitled The Effect of Motivation on Students' Speaking Ability. Her study found that there is a significant effect of motivation in learning English on students' speaking ability. The results shows that the student with very high motivation have better ability in speaking compared with the student with low motivation. It means that the higher their motivation in learning English, the better their ability in speaking will be. And the student with very high motivation got better achievement in fluency and comprehensibility aspect. Meanwhile, the students with low motivation got better achievement in comprehensibility aspect. So what's the research gap? The research gap is the instrument of collecting data. The previous study only used 25 questions on motivation questionnaire, while the writers, me, used 44 questions based on Journal of Educational Psychology in the motivation questionnaire. Next, the second previous study. The second previous study is already done by Kinanti at 2016 from Sanata Dharma University, Yogyakarta, entitled The Student's Motivation in Learning English. Her study found the 8th grade of SMP BOPKRI 1 Yogyakarta have high mean score. Their mean score was 94.39. That is higher than motivation index, which was 84. The students reached the indicators of intrinsically motivated. Most of them liked to learn English because they were interested in and enjoyed the English lesson. What's the research gap? The research gap on the second previous study is the instrument for collecting data as well. The previous study chose a cross-sectional survey because the researchers only did the research in one period of time, while the writers do the research for multiple times. And the previous study and the second previous study only used 30 questions for her questionnaire that only relate to intrinsic motivation, while the writers used 44 questions based on Journal of Educational Psychology in the motivation questionnaire. Okay, the last previous study. The third previous study is already done by Aprimaita at 2017 from STKIP PGRI West Sumatra, entitled The Correlation Between Students' Motivation and Speaking Ability at SMAN 2 Padang in Academic Year 2017-2018. Her study found that there was a positive correlation between student motivation and speaking ability of the 10th grade SMAN 2 Padang in Academic Year 2017-2018. The correlation was categorized quite strong correlation. In other words, students who had more motivation had more speaking ability as well. So the research gap on the third previous study is the data calculation. The previous study used manual calculation, while the writer used SPSS. According to Subakti 2015, the difference in accuracy between SPSS and manual calculation is very small, but still SPSS has higher accuracy. So I think that the data calculated with two various ways, like manual and SPSS, it would be more accurate. It would be safer for the researcher. So yeah, thank you. That's all that I could present to you, and I do apologize if there are many mistakes that I made in this video. So wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.